From over here. I'm coming to demonstrate the skill of Shawdow.
Teen Grind, how you living? It's Kid now back with another reaction video. For the react to is Valentina Shevchenk versus Carmouche 2. You find my channel the first time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this on social medias. Follow me on Instagram at DradeWidow 2.kid _ leave a comment down below. Let me know what you see react to next. Shout out to all the Shaolin ninjas out there. I also have a Patreon, link for that description below. If you want help to channel out, donate, all donations are good. But check this out about Valentina Shevchenk. I learned Valentina Shevchenk from my boy Coach Shawdow Harrison, the best MMA platform for women on YouTube. Go check out his channel. But he kept on. It's two female fighters you gonna hear about constantly when you go to his channel. You gonna hear about Chris Cyborg and you gonna hear about Valentina Shevchenk. You know he give a talk, but ain't nobody can touch the bullet, man. The bullet is the truth, man. She's scared of the bullet. I'm like, it got to the point like, all right, who is this bullet person he speak of? So I typed the name Valentina Shevchenk. And Valentina Shevchenk is raw. She is definitely one of the best female fighters, if not the best female fighter out right now. If you strike at her and you don't connect, she gonna make you pay for it with the counter strikes. I became a believer when she had beat Holly Holm. At first, I thought she was gonna lose to Holly Holm. Holly Holm won that first round. Then the first 4 rounds, the next 4 rounds, forget about it, man. Valentina Shevchenk won. And she go up against for this one she going up against Liz Carmouche. Liz Carmouche beat her by some disqualification, I believe, and she was pretty much rewarded the fight. But who I got winning this fight? I'm going with Valentina Shevchenk, man. Until somebody able to beat the bullet at this weight class, I'm gonna believe in Valentina Shevchenk. But enough of me talking. Man, let's get to this fight.
Liz Carmouche telling us, Michael, that she is a night and day different fighter from the last time she fought Valentina Shevchenk 9 years ago, and she says that Valentina has not evolved as a fighter.
Yeah, that's right, she did. I'm not sure if I agree with that.
It's time to put that to the test, isn't it?
Carmouche said that she's evolved, she's day and night, she's got way better. But as you just said, Shevchenk hasn't evolved, to be honest. I don't think she needs to.
She did.
Underway here for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship of the World. Carmouche is a plus 700, 7-1 underdog in the gray. Valentina Shevchenk minus 1100 as the huge favorite in the black.
And this is a moment for Carmouche now to validate her entire career. All those hours in the gym, all the sacrifices, riding a bike, being broke, living off frozen noodles. If she can pull this off tonight, it makes it all worthwhile. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but as I said before, Shevchenk is a human being, and it only takes one good shot to turn the tide.
We'll see what the game plan is. Carmouche kind of saying she can go anywhere with the fight. Didn't want to picture how the fight would play out. Just pictured her hands raised at the end of the night. So she feels more than prepared.
And the thing is, you can hear the silence in the arena because they know, they are waiting, because they know if Shevchenk explodes, we could see something incredible. So the anticipation, you can feel it in the air.
No shake there for Carmouche, who has stayed at distance and backed off 2 minutes into this fight. 5 possible rounds here for the belts.
Carmouche doing a lot of conditioning for this fight. She says she's stronger than ever. She always trains for 5 rounds. Done a lot of sprints, took the strength and conditioning to the next level. As I said earlier, brought in a variety of good sparring partners, lots of southpaws. Very happy with the way her camp's gone. And she looks in incredible shape.
San Diego Combat Academy, where she trains and teaches, part owner there as well. So kind of a new wrinkle in her career of owning, operating a gym, and also being a fighter, but telling me a couple of years ago that she's kind of figured that out after needing some time off. She's fought her way to 4 of 5 wins in the UFC en route to a title shot. Body kick there from Carmouche.
That is the temptation and the problem with being the champion and being so well respected, but she's a lifelong martial artist and she loves this, And she doesn't talk trash, she's just matter of fact in the way she talks, because she truly believes in herself, and for obviously very, very good reason, but she's so matter of fact about everything she does, from the way she talks, the way she describes her training, her skills, her opponent, and just basically anything in life. It's very refreshing to see.
Well, you mentioned it, lifelong martial artist. She began Taekwondo when she was 5 years old. Her mother, Elena, is the president of the Muay Thai Federation in her native Kyrgyzstan. As a flurry in the center of the octagon. Kickboxing at 12, she knocked out a 22-year-old opponent. That kind of put her on the map a little bit, and then made her mixed martial arts debut at 15 years old. Here she is at 31, the UFC flyweight champion, and looking to defend. Final minute of the first round.
Yeah, we're still in the first round, but you know, Carmouche is doing okay. She's not being outclassed, she's going in and out. She hasn't landed anything particularly significant, but she hasn't taken any significant shots either. She's done a good job. As I say, the in and out movement is key, but when you move out, you know, you can't land your own shot, so it is a defensive style. But as I say, so far so good.
Each patient and knowing that they have 5 rounds to work, so they won't rush into anything. Final 10 seconds here, this first round. Plus. Well, thoughts on the first 5 minutes, Michael? What did you think?
Yeah, well, Carmouche's corner was just saying that the movement is perfect, in and out. You didn't take any shots, and that's correct. It is true, but, you know, the idea isn't to be defensive in there. You know, you're trying to win the fight. Right as I say that, Shevchenk lands a jab. You know, in and out movement's good, being defensive is great, but you've got to land shots to win a fight. Now, she has landed a few shots here and there. I'm not berating her opponent, her performance. You know, but she's got to push forward a little bit. Shevchenko's controlling the center of the octagon. And she's just taking her time. She's the champ, you know. She's defending her belt. There's a lot of pressure with that, you know. There's no rush. She's got 5 rounds to do it. You know, but if Carmouche keeps doing this, you know, you never know.
Front kick there for Shevchenko, who won the belt, as we mentioned, against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, went the full 5 minutes, and Shevchenko using her counter-striking style in that fight up in Toronto. And kind of content, ended quickly as she did in Chicago. First takedown attempt there for Carmouche.
Defended perfectly.
The first fight between these two came back in 2010. It was in rural Oklahoma, about 2 hours away from the airport that they landed at. It was on an Indian reservation. Carmouche saying, like, the silo that we warmed up in, you backed against the wall, the ceiling kind of came down.
Yeah, welcome to low-level MMA, trust me.
I mean, and, you know, the women were 3 years away still from fighting in the UFC, so these two were at it several years before the masses were introduced to the sport on the women's side of things. And Valentina believes that she was dominating that fight.
Yeah.
Got caught with an up kick from Carmouche, and it was actually a doctor's stoppage towards the end of the second round. Huge cut opened up.
It's been a bad cut.
But of course, each fighter with 9 years of training with the UFC.
Yeah, you know, I mean, listen.
Welcoming women into the fray as well. It's a whole different ballgame.
You know, Carmouche, I mean,
I'm sorry if I'm being real quiet, but not much of anything for the happening right now.
She's got to have to, you know, for want of a better description, sacrifice herself
Okay,
a little bit. You've got to get on the inside. She's constantly out of range. She steps in, she throws shots, but she's just out of range. She's a little too short, and she's hitting fresh air. You know, I mean, she needs to be a little bit closer. The problem is, when you do that, you might walk on to the end of something. But, you know, you've got to do something.
A blitz forward, then a body kick there from Carmouche. Coming up on a minute to go. Second of 5 possible rounds with the UFC flyweight title on the line.
Yeah, you got to think the path to victory for Carmouche would be to take her down. She's a black belt, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu under Eddie Bravo. You know, get her down on the floor, and she's very, very physically strong as well. I've seen it in the past. Once she gets her hands on opponents, she can ragdoll them, and of course the skills on the floor as well. Now Shevchenko's no joke on the ground either, but still, for my money, that would be her best path to victory.
Last submission win for Shevchenko came in a main event in January 2017 against Juliana Pena.
Oh, nice spinning back fist there.
Round as things start getting loose here.
Yeah, that connected, then she followed it up.
Leads with the kick again. Final seconds of the second round. Third round is straight ahead. Carmouche, Valentina, Shevchenko. Well, Carmouche is going to need to find a way to close that distance.
Ma'am, are you ready? Ma'am, are you ready? Fight.
As we get underway here for the third round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brendan. He's got to try and find a way to close the distance. You know, I mean, listen, this is a big deal for Carmouche, you know. Probably the last time she'll ever fight for a title. I mean, she's had 2 opportunities. Of course, first one didn't go away. And, you know, I think it's fair to say she's probably coming towards the end of her career. She's 35 years old. I'm not basing that on performance or anything like that, but, you know, Father Time catches up with everybody eventually. So she's you know, playing the long game, which is totally perfectly understandable, you know, because it takes 2 to tango as well. You know, on the flip side, Shevchenko's controlling for the most part the center of the octagon and letting Carmouche come to her. But again, there's a lot of pressure for Shevchenko. You know, she's one of the best in the world now. She's got a massive target on her back. You know, she's the champion, and with being the champion, that brings a lot of perks. It brings a lot of money, a lot of fame, and a lot of doors open for her.
This feels comfortable when
I know,
she's
I'm
at
joking.
the top.
Oh no, I'm rightly so. She looks very comfortable at the top as well.
Not easily shaken.
That was a heavy leg kick. She threw one earlier as well. That was very heavy as well.
Low kick's really the only kind of strike that's been able to land for Liz Carmouche. Shevchenko offers a 1-2. Crowd getting restless, waiting for the next big shot. Shevchenko steps in.
Shevchenko's trying to corral her up against the fence, give her nowhere to go. She needs to do that, but then cut the cage off. Carmouche is kind of aiding to the left and the right. Shevchenko needs to back her up, then move left or right, mirror whichever way Carmouche goes, cut off the exit route so she's got nowhere to go, back her up against the fence, and then, you know, use all of her tools. No, but credit to Carmouche, you know, the footwork is great, you know, because Shevchenko knows that, what I just said. Of course she does. She's a world champion. She knows that's the plan. Wow! There we go.
Shevchenko sits down Carmouche.
And that's the problem when you're facing somebody like that. One shot, put her right down.
Well, if Carmouche wanted to get things down to the ground, she only attempted 1 takedown through the early going. It was shrugged off easily. We'll see if Shevchenko wants to go to the ground now.
Well, anytime I speak to a wrestler, I always tell him, best takedown in the game, left hook. Or in this case, a left straight. But that was nice. That was piston-like.
So biggest moment of the fight so far goes to Shevchenko with the knockdown. Now they clinch up in the center.
Yeah, this is the first time they've ever properly clinched like this. Now Carmouche is very, very strong, but look at this. Look at that!
Good.
Combination of power and technique.
Uses the body lock and scores the takedown. Shevchenko will go to work with 1 minute to go in the third.
Yes, so Carmouche is a black belt at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, which is a, you know, it's a unique style, and they like to be on their back. They have tremendous guard work, lots and lots of, you know, unusual attacks. It's a very awkward system to start of setting up submissions or sweeps.
Time runs out on the third round. We'll keep it here. And Liz, go ahead.
No, you're good.
So Shevchenko continues her top control. Just over 2 minutes to go.
Yeah. Now, if Shevchenko exploded with that left leg right now, there's a possibility that she could pass the guard and, you know, progress to. And there it is. Oh, almost. Carmouche did a good job of getting at least one butterfly hook back.
Keep working.
And now into full guard. Keith Peterson asking the fighters to keep working on the ground.
Break. Stand up.
And there is the step in to return him to the center. Coming up on 90 seconds to go, fourth round. Significant strikes heavily in the favor of the champion. We'll see what Liz Carmouche has to offer over the final 6+ minutes of this fight.
Yeah, you know, if you're Liz, you know, it's no secret. You got to try something different. You know, she's got 6 minutes left.
Spinning back fist drops Carmouche.
But that's the problem. That is the issue. It's easy for me, as I said before, to sit here saying that, but then that's what you're walking into. You know, so for everybody in the crowd that's booing, listen, I get it. You know, they want to see a fight, but when you're in there and every time you walk forward, you nearly get your head taken off, you're not so inclined to keep pushing forward.
Yeah. Well, she pushed forward and found herself on the bottom once again, and now Valentina will try to slide that left arm out. As Carmouche keeping a firm hold of it. Swings over to the back.
She's going to flatten her out. Oh no, she's going to try and get the hooks in. Yeah, there we go, flatten her out. Full side control with 20 seconds left.
And don't just think she's a striker. She is very strong as well as the champion.
That was a beautiful job of reclaiming half guard there and getting the full lockdown. Another one of the Eddie Bravo classic positions, but it was great. Very, very technically done.
So the strength and the striking on display once again.
It's not an easy thing to do to make it to the 5th round with Shevchenko, you know, so the fact that she's here in the first place and now she's in the final round, that's got to give her a lot of confidence, and with that confidence, have the courage to put yourself in harm's way, you know, to go forward and look for the finish that the coach said, because he's right, she is capable of finishing this fight. So is Shevchenko though, but it's 5 minutes, Shevchenko's way ahead on the scorecards. Carmouche has got to do something risky, something dangerous, you know.
Back to the center they go on the feet. Carmouche's corner asking her not to wait as time runs low. There's 4 minutes left here. Charging in again, she leads with that Superman punch. Firing quick shots.
Yeah, the speed, it's beautiful to watch. It really is so fast.
At 8 Eastern next Saturday night on ESPN. Under 3 minutes to go now as Shevchenko continues to apply pressure from up top.
There's a little bit of pop in those heel strikes there. You could hear that. Now here we go. She's kind of squaring, rotating her hips here. That looked like she was going to try and attempt an armbar. You know, listen, you know, there's a lot of submissions from the guard, and, you know, a legitimate black belt can pull them off. You never know. She's got 2 minutes here. Of course, Shevchenko's in the better position. She's on top, but Carmouche, with her style of jiu-jitsu, this is exactly where she wants her opponent.
Well, Liz Carmouche finding mixed martial arts and beginning training during her final tour in Iraq. She was in the U.S. Marine Corps for 5 years, proudly serving the United States.
Massive shots. But if you're trying to control an opponent on the ground and not let them get back up, this is exactly what you do. You keep them flat on the back. You have chest-to-chest pressure. You don't give them an inch to move. Then you use
not a whole lot happened on that part, especially when Liz Carmouche in, because every time she tries to go forward off Shevchenko's gonna make you pay every time. Make a mistake, you're gonna pay for it. She got dropped a couple of times. You know, she tried with a takedown. Shevchenko made her pay for it by getting on top position. Shevchenko is just a beast. Well, this is the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share our social medias. Remember, every season.
And just an all-out dominant performance over these